Online feminism, a space for empowerment, connection, change. But whose change? Whose empowerment? And for whom does this digital solidarity truly exist for? In 2013, a hashtag exploded. Hashtag solidarity is for white women. More than a trend, it forced an uncomfortable but crucial examination of mainstream digital feminism. It highlighted a persistent issue. As scholar Jessie Daniels notes, yet what remains unquestioned in these journalistic accounts and in the scholarship to date is the dominance of white women as architects and defenders of a framework of white feminism, not just in the second wave, but today in the digital era. This video explores what hashtag solidarity is for white women, revealed about whose voices get amplified, how identity as intersectional is often lost online, and its lessons for truly inclusive digital feminism. Let's get into it. To understand hashtag solidarity is for white women's impact, we need the concept of identity as intersectional on social media. Intersectionality isn't just listing identities like race, gender, class, sexuality, or ability. It's about recognizing that these aspects overlap, creating unique experiences of power or marginalization online. For example, the online experience of a black woman is different from that of a white woman or a queer person with a disability. Each combination brings its own set of social advantages or vulnerabilities when navigating social media platforms. This is where platform logics matter. Platforms don't just reflect society, they actively shape it. Their underlying algorithms and engagement-driven designs, which are often prioritize virality over nuance, significantly decide which voices are amplified and which remain unheard. Digital feminism finds powerful spaces on social media for discourse and activism. But these platforms can also reproduce offline exclusions. Without a conscious, intersectional approach, they do risk centering dominant narratives, often reflecting mainstream, white feminist perspectives whilst marginalizing others. Thus, online visibility is never neutral. It's profoundly shaped by the power structures and its platform architecture. The hashtag solidarity is for white women critiqued this in 2013, initiated by writer Mikki Kendall. It responded to a persistent pattern that mainstream online feminism, often white-led, failed to address or even acknowledge the specific oppressions of women of color and other marginalized feminists. Kendall and others pointed out that solidarity was often demanded of them, yet rarely extended when women of color faced racist and sexist attacks, sometimes from within their self-proclaimed feminist circles. In these spaces, solidarity was conditional. This speaks directly to Jessie Daniels' point about digital feminism today. In her words, there is a dominance of white women as architects and defenders of a framework of white feminism in the digital era. This hashtag questioned that dominance, publicly and powerfully. But this wasn't just about discourse. Platforms also play a crucial role. Jessie Daniels also discusses how the internet's development has been intertwined with constructing and protecting whiteness, suggesting that digital architecture itself isn't neutral ground. In other words, platform design, whether that be from content moderation to algorithmic amplification favoring established, often white voices, can reinforce these exclusions. It often takes extraordinary effort or a viral catalyst for marginalized voices to break through the noise. This hashtag solidarity is for white women did this, carving out a vital counter-public and effective public, demanding inclusive solidarity in feminist movements, online and off. So, the hashtag solidarity is for white women explosion was a critical turning point. It laid bare the truth that visibility in digital spaces is uneven, and solidarity, when uncritical or selective, is exclusionary. We now see ongoing efforts to decenter whiteness in feminist discourse, with creators pushing for inclusive, anti-racist, decolonial approaches. But as Jessie Daniels also highlights, a fundamental challenge is the persistent struggle for women of color to simply have their voices recognized and heard, as they are frequently being ignored or silenced in online spaces. As platforms like TikTok and Instagram evolved, new visibility battles emerge. Are today's platform logics better at equitably amplifying diverse feminist voices, or are they creating new, subtler forms of marginalization? This remains a pressing question. We have to critically think. Algorithmic connectivity can still inadvertently lead to echo chambers, limiting exposure to full intersectional feminist thought. It's subtle, but a powerful exclusion. So, for those engaging in online feminism, what does meaningful solidarity look like now? It's more than just reposting a quote or a hashtag. True allyship means actively working to dismantle these systems, the same systems that silence and marginalize feminists. This involves seeking out, listening to, and intentionally platforming feminist voices from the margins. Are we critically examining whose works we share? Are we challenging our algorithmic bubbles, listening when we're uncomfortable? Because solidarity is active, a continuous process of learning, unlearning, and disrupting comfort. It's in the choices we make with our likes, shares, comments, and attention. A truly inclusive feminism begins by asking, who are we making visible?